Bellingham is full of diversity. It's food, it's people, it's architecture, and it's city parks. Today we visit what is probably one of Bellingham's best kept secrets. It's one of the newest city parks with a lot of history. It's Woodstock Farm in Bellingham. Erin, give us a little glimpse of what Woodstock Farm is.
Woodstock Farm is a city park located at 1200 Chuckanut North, and we're a fairly new city park, but it's also a historical homestead and a great place for families to come and picnic.
How big is it?
We are 16 acres, and it is made up of some view bluff property and wooded areas and fabulous area of grass and buildings that we have for rental and use.
Now, this is a city park with 6 buildings, not just buildings, but historical buildings. What is the city's purpose with keeping those here?
So the goal of the city was to have this beautiful place accessible to the public, and they wanted to keep the integrity of its historical significance here. So yes, there's 6 properties on the park, and the barn itself is historically registered. And then the house itself is a 6,600 square foot Craftsman, and it was built in 2 sections, and that's really a fun aspect of that house. And then the chicken coop, there's the garage, and then the cowsman's cottage at the bottom of the hill, and the cookhouse at the top of the hill. And all of the buildings are accessible other than the cottage and the cookhouse when you rent the facility for events.
So obviously this is a beautiful place for weddings and events. What are some of the more unique events that you have here?
This is a great location for winter staff retreats or nonprofit board retreats and meetings, family reunions and graduation parties. This is a great place for memorials because the house is really cozy and quaint and open, wide open. We've had pretty much anything you can think of. The property itself is so large it can support a large party of up to 150 people.
So with an event that brings a lot of people here, I noticed there's not a lot of parking spaces. What's the plan for that?
No, there's not a lot of parking spaces. The city did put in, there are 3 or 4 spots at the top of the hill, so if the gate is closed, you're welcome to park up there and walk down to the park. And every shuttle company in town has had people in and out of here, and it really isn't an issue, and that's something I'm happy to work with people to figure out.
How does it make you feel being a part of this? This is a magical place.
Yeah, it really is a special place, and I think a lot of people who come down here just feel like they're leaving everything behind just for a few minutes or a few hours while they're down here. It really feels separated, but it's only 5 minutes from town.
Now, back in the day, who lived here? What's the story behind all these buildings?
Right, so Cyrus Gates was a local philanthropist, investor. He was pretty involved with the city. Yeah. And so he purchased this property and started construction on it in 1905. But his real goal was to support community lands. And so he had his fingers in a lot of establishment of city parks, Fairhaven Park, Larrabee Park, Arroyo Park.
So how come we haven't heard of Gates? You know, we hear of Larrabee State Park and that type of thing, but Gates isn't quite as well known. Why is that?
He really didn't want any limelight. They were actually going to name Arroyo Park Gates Park, but he said, absolutely not, I don't want to have my name on the park. So they called it Arroyo, and really, other than a small plaque in Fairhaven that has his name on it, many people don't even know who Gates is, even though he was instrumental in the development of much of Fairhaven and the South Side.
You wonder if, in the early 1900s, Cyrus Lester Gates envisioned this area as a recreational place for Bellingham residents to enjoy for years to come. What we do know is that Woodstock Farm was his pride and joy, and now it's ours as well, in Bellingham. For more information on Woodstock Farm, visit cob.org/Woodstock.